Wizan,
Nizam, with our tag team, Mount Rushmore. So we got tired of putting 4 people on the Mount Rushmore. This time, you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put 8.
what you gonna do?
Oh,
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put 8. 8, not tag teams, but 8 people that happen to be in pairs for the tag team Mount Rushmore. Who do we think?
So
should be on
8 tag
team
teams,
Mount Rushmore?
the 4 tag teams, the 16 tag teams. I'm confused.
We doing a
I don't.
Mount
We
Rushmore
doing
tournament.
Steiner math right here.
We doing a Mount Rushmore tournament. That's what it is. It's a Mount Rushmore tournament to determine who gets on the Mount Rushmore.
We're gonna have a lot of people in the tag team division.
Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, she means always, they mean always, you mean always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn. Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
All right,
That song sucks.
You suck.
Just so you know, what'd you say, Adam?
Nothing.
I said, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
What's going on, good
Real
people?
American.
Back at it again. Back at it again. Another Mount Rushmore on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always I, DJ means always, Justin means always, Casey means always, and Adam, who is joining Casey via his cellular device.
It's like we're in the same room.
He's actually like right behind the other wall. We just don't know it. You know, that's what it is.
Casey!
Shut up in there.
But last week, just so you know, we did our wrestling Mount Rushmore for our singles competitors. We kept it to competitors as opposed to personnel, referees, management, just because it was easier that way. And then now we're gonna do we should do like a outside of the ring type wrestling Mount Rushmore. Might be a fun discussion for next week. I don't know, but anyway,
Like
we are
like managers.
Managers.
I mean,
okay, here's a Mount Rushmore.
managers,
Easy.
referees, like personnel, like authority figures, general managers.
Managers. Okay, here's the Mount Rushmore.
Best
We can't go
timekeepers.
too much into the. We can't go too much of minutia in that sense. Like I would say, if anything, a true standard in wrestling would be like a Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling and a Mount Rushmore of managers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be fun.
The Mount Rushmore of pyrotechnic guys.
Yes, that's actually the way. That's actually the best way to do it. So,
The Mount Rushmore of the riding team.
So last week we did our Mount Rushmore singles guys. We're doing tag teams for this week. So who wants to get us started with their first tag team? I'm just gonna let y'all know. Casey sent me Casey sent me right this request to do a Mount Rushmore before I was ready. So I rushed to a decision. So my Mount Rushmore has changed. Okay, just gonna let y'all know now. Just gonna let y'all know whatever's on TikTok is inaccurate, is fake news. I was misquoted. I was misquoted. So I'm just gonna let you.
Audience.
I was misquoted. Dang on it. But
How are you misquoted when you're the one who said it?
I was misquoted in my own quote. Okay. All right, Casey. Who first on your Mount Rushmore? Or as you said, your Mount.
Why I gotta go first? You said who's ready, and then you go
Because you're the most prepared.
We said ladies first.
So Justin, go.
No, you go. You got the long hair people first.
You said ladies. Justin.
No, you got the long hair. You're more of the lady.
Guys,
Short people first.
I
Short
mean,
people first.
I mean, I can go
Next
first. I really don't mind. Like I have the list.
No,
I just said it changed.
I'm curious to see DJ what his first, because apparently he was
I
misquoted.
mean, okay, most of them are the same. Okay, I changed 2. Anyway, I focused a little bit more on what I actually watched as opposed to what Adam said. No, I'm kidding. I focused a little bit more on what I watched as opposed to
Wait a minute. Hold up. What you mean what I said?
what you said. I mean, that's what I mean. Like
He basically copied your list.
no, I didn't copy. I didn't copy your list, but I felt like when I revisited my list, I almost felt like, I don't know if this is authentic to me. I felt like it was more authentic to maybe Casey a little bit, or Adam a little bit. I was like, I got to make a couple of tweaks because I felt a little rushed.
This man.
I felt a little Rushmore. Okay. Anyway. All right. That was a good joke. Anyway, first things first. First on the list, it's the Hardys. Gotta go with the Hardys. The Hardy Boys with a Z. This gets a little bit more difficult, I think, as teams get older, because you slowly see them decline. You slowly see them like maybe go a little past their prime a little bit. But I think you just got to think of the good memories. You got to think of the good memories. You got to think of the ladder matches, the triple threat ladder matches that were just everything we needed. You got to think about the development of the Hardy Boys. And I've always enjoyed the Hardy Boys. And that, 2000s era was really like my era of like getting into tag team wrestling a little bit more. Like I liked, some of those guys from the 90s, but I think I actually got to watch and experience and really put a stamp on my tag team wrestling approval. It was, those guys from the 2000s. So starting with my boys, the Hardy, bless you, the Hardy Boys.
Bless you.
Everybody else says bless you.
Literally, no, I was the only one.
Okay, Casey said bless you. Nobody else said bless you. All right, so
Gesundheit.
Let's go to Justin next, because obviously Casey's not ready. So
you're not going to tell her that. Wow, sorry, Adam. He's not going to.
Oh, sorry, Adam said Gesundheit.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It should have been me.
Justin, who you got on your first spot in the Mount Rushmore?
So my first spot is going to be a rival that, during the 2000s. Wait, why is the screen look like this? Why'd you have to put me on full?
Quit changing the screen.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question though? Are they immortal?
No. But they do a 5-second pose. Okay.
I feel like
immortal undead.
I feel like since y'all are scared to go full screen, that I feel like we should just go back to Google Plus. Like we should just screw StreamYard. Let's just go back to Google Plus.
I don't mind the full screen. It's just you just change it at random.
Well, I know. I change it when you talk.
I mean,
nobody wants to watch me sit here and watch you talk.
Show that I dealt with the last couple episodes.
I mean, because if I gotta sit here and watch Casey's reaction to Justin talk, because he's like, I just don't want to. Okay, kidding.
Okay, so my first team for the Mount Rushmore is, and
y'all watch me drink my drink because that's what they want. Okay.
Is Edge and Christian. They are a rival to the Hardy Boys here. Basically, my Mount Rushmore got changed also because I really wasn't. Basically, I'm in the same boat as DJ here because I was kind of picking teams that are I didn't really watch. I didn't really watch the teams during the early '90s.
Still in my gimmick here.
I am still in your gimmick. Gimmick infringement here. Yes, copyright me all you want. I said infringement. That's what I just said.
Infringement gimmick.
Infringement gimmick right here. Yeah, I gotta go with the Edge and Christian here.
The Christian and Edges.
The
Send them
Christian.
the cease and desist. The cease and desist.
What are you talking about right now?
Send them to a cease and desist.
We never really know. Casey, who you got, and Adam, of course, too, is over there. He behind the other wall, just so y'all know. Who you got on the tag team Mount Rushmore, the first team you got, or the number 4 team, or maybe the 2 or the 3. I don't know, whichever one you want.
Well, I was thinking.
That's too many numbers.
I was thinking.
I was yawning. I wanted to make sure people could hear it because they can't see me because I decided to put this.
What a dick.
There we go.
Oh, bless me.
Now they can see. So I was thinking about putting Doink and Dink on here because they were a great tag team. I
thought you put Goldberg and Gilborg.
They were never a tag team.
They could have been. They
didn't even work in the same company. But I mean, if you knew that, you would know that if you were a real wrestling fan. But I guess not.
Technically, they did.
You shut your dirty.
Well, I gotta correct you when it is called for, sir.
It's not called for. Shut up.
Put him on mute. Mute him. Just hang up the call.
Please let me out of the wall. I'm begging you.
I'll let you out when I'm ready. Anyway, I'm going to go also with the Hardy Boys and do some gimmick infringement on DJ.
Yeah. Adam, will you make the clean sweep and go with the Hardy Boys?
No, I ain't gonna do that. Whatever though, because I would definitely put them in my top. Whatever you want to say, I can't.
Adam hates fun. We all know this. Come on.
No, because I can't do this. As much as I love the Hardy Boys, I loves me the Hardy Boys with the Z. I can't put them in that upper echelon for my taste. Now,
the Young Bucks.
They've kind of hell no. They've kind of soured on me a little bit the last few years. A lot of it is kind of their own at the same time, not completely of their own doing. WWE did to Matt and what WWE did to Jeff. But my first skin of the game is going to be the Hart Foundation. Brett and Jim the Anvil. That was my first foray in terms of an actual cohesive team and the perfect foil of the powerhouse brawler and the guy that was cutting the promo in Anvil, and then the smooth worker of Bret Hart. And right off the bat, if anybody's never seen it, I highly encourage it. Hart Foundation versus Demolition, 2 out of 3 falls, SummerSlam 1990. Incredible match, incredible psychology, and a crazy finish involving somebody else who is going to be my number 1, if you will, later on in this list. But yes, for me, right off the bat, Hart Foundation.
Okay, I like it. Moving on to the second one on my list, I'm gonna go, and I feel like I would still pop if I heard certain words of an entrance with this tag team, because I just love this tag team so much.
You look so
yes, definitely Billy and Chuck. They definitely deserve it.
Is it with or without Rico?
Is it 3 count?
It's not 3 count.
Is a 3-minute war. Oh wait, yeah.
The 3-minute warning.
Yeah. It's obviously the beautiful people. Like, come on.
No. Is it super
Right to censor.
training?
So for
Which
me,
spells shit.
I'd have to go with the Dudleys. And I switched it. I went to my second one instead of my third. Anyway, I'm going with the Dudleys.
You lied.
I'm going with the. See, I'm lying. I'm this the Lion podcast. I'm going with the Dudleys. I mean, the Dudleys got all the tag team championships in the world, across the world. Just a great tag team. I feel like the Dudleys are one of those tag teams where they really needed each other. Especially at least until late in Bubba's career when he became Bully
Late
Ray
in
and actually
Dudleyville.
got a good heel run. I felt like that's the only time he was able to do anything as a singles guy. Other than that, he just wasn't able to really do anything as a singles guy. So for me,
So
I
he had
think
to
this
be
was
more
one of
like-
those one teams where they really actually needed each other. Like they really, truly weren't the same without the other one. And we saw the breakup in WWE. What did you say, Casey?
I said so. He's got to be in a relationship.
Yes,
Some people
obvious.
are like that. Some people are like that.
He can't be lonely. Can't be lonely. But yeah, the Dudleys is next on my list. Let's go back to Justin.
So next on my list is gonna be
Bucks.
no, not the Young Bucks. Too sweet, It's gonna be the Hardy Boys as well. I mean, well, DJ said everything.
I thought you just said the Hardy Boys. Am I?
No, I said Edge and Christian.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You literally made it a clean sweep. What's wrong with you?
I mean,
He ended the clean sweep in the middle of the sweep.
in the middle of the sweep. What?
Nobody even corrected me when I said a clean sweep.
I mean,
You
it
just
wasn't.
let me say that.
We wanted to see you fall on your face on that one.
It was fun.
What Adam said.
Oh, okay. Let's go to Adam and Casey.
Both of us.
We're going at this.
Yes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Where's the synchronization?
I mean, he's got to tell us which one's going.
Casey, go.
I'm telling you shit.
Okay. Don't tell me shit, bitch. Anyway,
Damn.
for my number 2, in no particular order, by the way, I'm going with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Very nice.
The Machine Gun Carl Anderson. I feel you.
No, not that one. Not that
Hey
one.
now. Disrespecting my man Carl Anderson.
I mean, I love me some Chad Too Bad.
Disrespecting good old Festus. Come on. You telling me Jesse and Festus is not on your list? I don't understand.
That's not Machine Gun Carl Anderson, boy. Anyway, going with the Motor City Machine Guns. If you have watched the podcast for any amount of time, you know that they are one of my favorite tag teams. One of the tag teams that
started tonight.
What?
What if they just started tonight?
You literally just heard me say they're one of my favorite tag teams.
Okay. Just making sure.
Wow.
Just making sure you were being inclusive of everybody.
I am, if you pay attention.
Those who have watched for years and those who have watched for 2 seconds tonight.
See, this is a problem with DJ. He doesn't pay attention to chats. Same
here.
Well, that's because we got a full-fledged podcast in the group chat.
The fact that a clean sweep means it has to be everybody.
It can be a clean, dirty sweep.
Anyway, it could be a 50% sweep. Anyway, as I was saying,
but that's still gonna be dirty. So,
one of my favorite tag teams that got my love of tag team wrestling back. I feel like when tag team wrestling wasn't doing so good, that was when Impact or TNA, whatever you want to call it, really had a really good tag team division, and Motor City was always one of my favorites. I think they kind of, in a way, really inspired a lot of the independents at the time. From the moves that they did, you started to see them in other independent promotions. They would do unique moves, innovative moves, even down to like their gear. A lot of indie wrestlers would kind of do similar gear because it was different. It looked cool. But even before that, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin were two of my favorite wrestlers. in TNA, and you always want two of your favorites to team up, and they did. So that was cool for me, and been consistent, except for Chris's knee injuries, but it's fine. It's fine. His knee is fine currently. It's currently okay. Knock on wood, it's gonna be fine.
It's currently okay, like the quads of Kevin Nash and Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Now, but let me ask you though. But what about his wee knee?
His wee knee is I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I would assume it's okay. I would assume it's okay.
All right, Adam, how you gonna follow that one up?
and by the way, the Motor City Machine Guns were one of the early talents on that program that drew me to watch Impact or TNA again, whatever you want to call it. And not to mention, they were the first of the quote modern style tag team that I watched, and at the time, it actually seemed like a refreshing element to what a tag team could be, where quicker pace but still logical cohesiveness. So yeah, I've been above the two. I've been a massive Chris Sabin fan for a very long time, and the first time in a while, I'm like, that's actually a cool name.
Yeah,
as opposed to like the turd of the tag team names at the time, whatever this. So yes, I put them over, big time. And next on my list, now we're going to start doing a little bit of gimmick infringement. The Dudley Boys. First and foremost, has anybody seen the Bully Ray Broken Skull sessions?
I've started it, but I haven't finished it yet.
Oh my God,
it's good stuff.
I would say that's in my top 3 of favorite episodes. For all the marks out there that want to say that Bully is stupid, he puts you to shame on Twitter. He puts you to shame on Busted Open. The guy knows his stuff. Now, sometimes I think he puts a little too much over of the stuff that's a little silly, but overall, the guy knows his stuff. So I've watched the Dudleys again since I would say the mid to late 90s, or like mid to late part of 1997 when I started watching. Like, no joke, the very first thing I ever saw from them was them 3Ding Beulah McGillicuddy, which was a no-no. Even before the Attitude Era was a big no-no, and that was a big deal at the time. And God bless Tommy, sold that segment like a champ. But the last really, really true heat-seeking heels. I mean, the most out of control segment I've ever seen was Heatwave '99 here in Dayton, when stuff that I will not repeat on this podcast, whatever though. But they did what you are supposed to do as a heel act, whether a single or a tag team. They wanted the crowd to try to jump over the rail and try to take a swing at them because they would knock the teetotal piss out of them. So I've always appreciate the commitment of what a heel is supposed to be. Obviously, yeah, I would say that they wanted to bring that a little bit into WWE, but they were just so too over not to not cheer for. Like longevity, the most protected, maybe the first or second most protected finish ever in the 3D. Great move. And DJ, whenever you finish that, he tells a great story with the Undertaker that involves that move. You'll appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, Dudley's one of, if you were to make an objective list, whatever, to me, they're definitely a top 3, top 5 tag team.
And two, like for a tag team, this is one of those lists, like Mount Rushmore, to me, in my opinion, is one of those lists that's hard to quantify sometimes, because I think sometimes we want to dive so deep into the history of everything. And yes, like the Dudleys are part of the history, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Hart Foundation, the Road Warriors. But I think sometimes like some of the newer tag teams, and I know they're not newer by today's standards now, 20 years ago now, but they're still like one of the kind of like new era type tag teams. Like they weren't the 90s, they weren't the 80s, they weren't the golden era. And for that to be something like for you to be able to stick out in an era where people are kind of like, do we really like tag team wrestling? Especially too, like we can't forget that like Rock and Austin and Triple H and these guys were still big at this time too. So the singles game was still so big in WWE. And then, and I like you said, Adam, too, I think the cool part about the Dudleys is they transcended every single company they touched. Like every company they touched was a big deal. ECW, they got all the heat in the world. WWE, everybody loved them, but at the same time, they got all the heat in the world. And then TNA, they almost like reinvigorated that tag team division in TNA.
And then back in WWE again.
And then coming at that, going back into WWE, that run coming back to WWE, like that surprise of them, and the Hardys also being a surprise coming back to WWE, just was. I think for them to be able to stand the test of time has been good, because I think a lot of the newer tag teams, quote unquote newer tag teams, don't get any love because we want to show so much credit to the history.
Well, but not only that, in terms of bringing the Hardys into the mix too, what are all three of them, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian? What are they always going to be known for? TLC,
yeah.
And again, and particularly TLC 2 at Mania 17. But that was the last time where a quote high spot gimmick match actually made sense how they constructed it. Even from the run-ins from Spike, Rhino, and Lita. And again, like everything meant something. And even the crazy spots, the stuff building up to it made sense. It wasn't a high spot for the sake of a high spot. Like things were meticulously put in place for the match, just for the wow factor. And then obviously it stole the show for the wow factor to still make logical sense.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned them having one of the most protected finishes in wrestling. I honestly cannot remember a time when anyone ever kicked out of the 3D. And I've been sitting here thinking about it. I can't think of a time when anyone ever kicked out of it.
I'll tell you. I'll say this. It was one time. Right before they split as a tag team in TNA.
Damn it! Of course it would be TNA.
No, but at the time, but in terms of that was the psychology for Bully to turn heel, because he said that guy kicked out because Devon, you covered him, not me.
Yeah.
So, and you've always, then came you've been riding my coattails. You're nothing without me. Blah blah blah. It's basic storytelling 101, but it worked. But it involved somebody kicking out of that finish.
I hate that Bully Ray never got the opportunity in WWE. Because I mean, of course, we saw what they tried to do with him when he first split from Devon, and it just didn't work in WWE. And then, I think TNA let him take a little bit more of the reins of being a singles guy, because like they really were, him and Devon really were like inseparable in terms of like they were unable to function without each other until the Bully Ray character came up. And
Golden
with aces and eights and all that. Like, I mean, that character,
aces and eights.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say I enjoyed aces and eights.
Yeah, I did. And especially for like it may have went on a little too long, but in terms of the long-term storytelling of aces and eights, like the long-term storytelling of how it began is amazing. Like I still go back to this day and watch the little aces and eights like little docu-series that TNA did where Bully as a heel in character kind of went through how he came through the plan, and it's still like amazing to me.
Well, and to kind of go off a little bit on the aces and eights thing. My problem, and I think DJ and I have had this conversation on the podcast when we've talked about aces and eights. I think the problem for me was one, yes, it did go on, far too long than it needed to. But also, when they started unmasking, it was too quick. Like it was.
And did you build anybody and two? I don't know if we ever talked about this, Casey. Did they build anybody off of aces and eights besides the guys who were already established? Right, Bully Ray was established. Even Devon, when he came in, you were like, "Oh, it's Devon." Right? Like no offense to Devon, but it was just like friggin' Garrett Bischoff.
Yeah, it was like Garrett Bischoff,
Wes Briscoe. Like
Gunner. Was Gunner part of it? Yeah, Gunner was a part of it.
But it didn't build anybody. Like that was my biggest issue with it. I thought the faction and the way it played out in terms of like the way it started and Bully's work within it was amazing. It was just like and his work with Hogan, even within the storyline, was amazing, and his work with Brooke too was good. Like it was just like it just didn't build anybody. I mean, it could have been on the tag team Mount Rushmore if they would have built some tag teams. Okay, just throw it out there. Anyway, okay. Okay. Adam did his. All right, we're good. We're on to number 3, right? Number 3.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. Number 3. All right. So for me, I'm going back to if I heard the beginning of this theme song, if I heard the "Oh You Didn't Know," I mean I would just be, I would be hyped. Not gonna lie to you. I don't care where I had to hear that. If I heard the Voodoo Kin Mafia, okay, maybe not the Voodoo Kin Mafia theme song, but even the Voodoo Kin Mafia, I enjoyed because I enjoy these guys so much. The New Age Outlaws, like I mean. One of the best tag teams of this era on the mic. One of the best tag teams on the mic in general. Road Dogg is just simply amazing, and then Billy Gunn is just, I mean, to this day still jacked. I'm trying to catch up. I'm working on it. I mean, these two guys, like, I mean, promo skills, A1 platinum, as one of my boys would say. These two guys, man, they really. Just made me enjoy tag team wrestling. I mean, between them, the Hardys, the Dudleys, I mean, it just defined my tag team wrestling childhood. Like there was even like almost like a lull period in the middle of there, to like present, not until present day, but like it took me a while to get back into tag team wrestling again, because there just wasn't anybody up to the level of those guys for me. But that's mine. The New Age Outlaws, love those guys so freaking much. Justin, who you got?
Are you ready?
Well, yeah, tell us.
Well, I mean, we've been waiting like the whole show.
No, I said, are you ready? Yeah, it's gonna be
D. Will you just tell us?
It's gonna be D Generation X. I was trying to guess something, but you were.
Oh, you could have just told us. I don't know that's we're ready.
I was trying to do what Triple H used to do, but you suck. Oh, you're the worst.
You didn't know?
Okay. Yeah, but I gotta go with D Generation.
So just for clarification, is it Shawn Michaels and Triple H, or is it the New Age Outlaws part of DX? That's all I'm asking.
It's Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and not the like the latest run that they had, like that one. I'm gonna go back to like their, back during the Attitude Era.
You weren't even born yet.
I was born in '98, so I was born at the tail end of the Attitude Era.
You weren't even born yet.
I was born in '98.
I've talked about this with Casey. Their updated version, quote unquote, like 06, whatever. Though I find that underrated. I was entertained by those sketches. Them imitating Vince and Shane, and then they dumped.
Okay, that was good. The manure.
The funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good too. I can agree with you.
Wasn't the first DX run in like 97?
1997.
You weren't even born yet.
I wasn't born yet, but I was. Hey, I can go on the Peacock. I can go watch on the Peacock. You know, I can go watch all of it. Watch all of it.
You ain't even born yet.
Okay.
I wasn't even born yet, but no, yeah, DX, you know, they're a great tag team. You know, like their catchphrases, you know, like suck it. You know, people still do it to this day. Or, you know, the doing the crotch chops.
That's inappropriate.
You're inappropriate. I mean, you know, back in the day, you know, when you
That wasn't even supposed to be funny.
back in the day, you know, in elementary
The way
schools,
you
you know,
said it.
like you begin saying to the principal office doing like suck it, you know, saying
Yeah,
suck
before
it.
he was born, he was being sent to the principal's office.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know, because I'm a youngin still.
I think I should have put Justin full screen for this one.
But yeah, I'm putting Shawn Michaels and Triple H DX as my next team. As my
Okay,
number
so
three.
he put the New Age Outlaws from DX. Cool. Casey, who you got next?
Well,
Generation
my next
Me.
team, you shut your next team that I have. I was actually born to experience. They weren't a team.
Is it the Viking experience?
It is not the Viking experience. Close, real close.
Was it Enzo and Cass?
It was not Enzo and Cass. Close again. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call. I gotta go with the New Age Outlaws too. To me, one of the perfect tag teams because literally where one kind of struggled, the other picked up the slack. Billy wasn't always the best on the mic. That's where Road Dogg came in. Road Dogg wasn't always the greatest in the ring. Billy was vastly underrated. I think a lot of fans don't realize how good he was and still is. So I got to go with the New Age Outlaws, part of the better version of DX.
Okay. Adam, are you going with the New Age Outlaws too? Like, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and let
No, I'm not. I'm going old school. So now,
My Heart Foundation.
I already said that.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
That was the first team that I listed. Kind of.
Oh, what a rush!
See, he doesn't even pay attention. He doesn't even pay attention.
No, he don't.
He going with the Rock and Roll Express. It's obvious. Come on.
You're close.
He's going with the Horsemen.
You close. No, I was alive. You know, right around like the big part of their.
But were you well? Is the question.
The New Rockers.
Would y'all shut the F up? For the love of anyway. So it's gonna be Jerry Lawler's King's Court. It's
Jerry Lawler.
So with cheesy, wheezy, no, okay. If in the words of Lance Storm, can I be serious? I know. I said now I was alive during their run, the best part of their run in the 80s. Now I've gone back and have gone to appreciate them more as time has gone on. I'm going with beautiful Bobby Eaton and sweet Stan Lane, the Midnight Express. Arguably one of the best heel, but one of the best pure tag teams in the history of the business. Stretched over almost a full decade in the 80s, dipped into the 90s a little bit, with a little bit of maturations with like the Heavenly Bodies, and I don't want to bring this up. They tried with the new Midnight Express with Bodacious Bob and Bombastic Bart in the late 90s. But much like Bruno, we don't talk about that. And as anybody knows, since I've also turned Casey to the dark side of being a Jim Cornette mark, I am the biggest Jim Cornette fan in the world. Everybody out there, watch the scaffold match between them and the Road Warriors. You will not be disappointed. So yes, Midnight Express, baby.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
After this, I'm going to check it out. Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna react to it.
Justin, you want to go first with your last one?
It's my last one.
It's out of order.
Hey, he has to switch it up when
That's out of order.
when you think you have all the answers.
I changed the questions.
No, that's out of order. DJ, what's the first one?
Just when they think they've got the answers, I change the questions.
I was there, Chris. I was there.
I was there, Chris. I was there for it all. And by the way, Justin, if I know you, just per the Pythagorean theorem, everybody from DX has been listed except China and X-Pac, and I think that's what you're going to go with.
No, I'm gonna go with the 2-man power trip.
I mean, I feel like they're tagged anyway.
I'm going with the 2-man power trip. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going with. But then again, it was.
What? They were like a team for like a week.
I know.
He's going with J&J Security. It's obvious.
I'm going with Evolution. Yes. They're such a great. Hey, you shut up over there. I mean, you put Triple H,
They count as a tag team? I mean, they're a faction. I don't know if
I mean, you wouldn't count as a tag team, like you have Batista and Ric Flair as the tag team part of it. Yeah, you wouldn't count them? You won't count them?
That's a good tag team.
Yeah, Evolution, they're a faction, okay?
Yes.
They count as a tag team.
No, they don't.
We didn't have many. Change my pick. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me change it. The Dudleys. Okay, there we go. This is the Dudleys. I did have them on my original list, but okay, I'll change it. It's the Dudleys. Okay.
I'll write them down. Evolution.
No. It's going back to the Dudleys. Let's go back to the Dudleys.
No, you said Evolution.
Let's go back to the Dudleys.
You said it. It's Evolution.
It's Evolution. We can't go back now. All right. Adam and Casey, y'all want to go or y'all want me to go?
DJ, why don't you go, Concept?
This one's tough for me,
Rey Mysterio and Batista.
The Village Twins.
Yeah.
Filthy Animal.
The New Day.
The Old Day. Los Conquistadors.
And Owen Hart.
I went through this period of
the Blue Blazer and Owen Hart.
Not really liking tag team wrestling.
The Blue Blazer and Owen Hart.
So I went through this period of really not feeling tag team wrestling. Like TNA helped me out a little bit. Ring of Honor definitely helped me out in that time too. In that time frame where I was just like kind of lost in the tag team.
So got it.
No. I know who it is. I know. John Cena and David Otunga.
It's Y2AJ. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. let's be real. One of the more decorated. Titus and Heath Slater.
Michael Tarver and Michael Tarver.
Obviously. I'm still struggling to find who this last team is.
Los Conquistadors.
Yes.
Los Matadores.
Obviously.
Lucha House Party.
All right. I want to. So I want to apologize in advance to absolutely no one for who I'm going to piss off for this. But
Rated RKO.
I feel like these guys, as goofy as they may be at this moment, these guys almost like saved tag team wrestling for me when I was at a really low point. And I do love Red Dragon, and I do love the American Wolves. But before I found those two teams,
oh God.
Don't you say.
Before I found those two teams, it was the Young Bucks.
Nope, we're done.
No, Generation Me. It's Generation Me. No.
It was Generation Me. It's obvious.
I had to kick him out.
It was the Young Bucks who reinvigorated my love for tag team wrestling. Now, hold up. You gotta hear me out now. Hear me out, dude. Hear me out, dude. Look.
Hear me out, dude.
It's hard for me because now I have grown to love the Wolves and Red Dragon more, right? than I do the Young Bucks because of all the goofiness.
Speaking of the Wolves, I'm happy they're a tag team again. I'm happy.
So the Wolves, I feel like didn't last long enough for me. So it comes down to Red Dragon, and the Bucks. Comes down to Red Dragon and the Bucks.
That's what she said.
God, that doesn't even make sense.
Does it ever? So, you know what? I'm going with Red Dragon.
No, because you said the Young Bucks. You can't take it back now.
I wasn't taking it back. I was giving a point for the three teams that were fighting for my last spot.
You're going with Nexus.
Young Bucks, I said the Bucks of Youth.
Actually, I said Generation Me.
Actually, I say Fortune. Immortal.
I don't know who I want to put on the last spot. I really don't. I'm really struggling. Okay, I'm really struggling with this. The Young Bucks really did get me back into tag team wrestling, but I do like Red Dragon so freaking much. When Bobby Fish puts the mouthpiece in the mouth and does the thing, and the music hits.
You gotta pick one.
It's just. So for me, okay, this is my thing because I'm an FTR guy. Okay, I'm a Revival guy, but I can't put them on the list because they haven't done enough for me. But Red Dragon is like the precursor to the Revival. So I'm going Red Dragon as my last one.
They're going with the Dragon Red.
Red Dragon.
So he's going with the Young Bucks.
Casey, who you got?
So he's going with the Young Bucks. Okay. All right.
I mean, if we want to put that on record, I ain't even going to be ashamed about it. I don't care.
I don't know what you want to put on record because you named like 16 tag teams.
Okay. You know what? It's the Young Bucks. It's the Bucks of Youth. Put them on there. Stone. Stone.
You're going with Balding Buck and Pie Face Buck?
Yes, he is.
The middle-aged Bucks?
Casey. And Adam,
I'm going
who you got?
With a respectable team. Unlike Justin's pick and DJ's pick.
You know, hey, I said I changed it to Dudley's.
No, you didn't.
You know what? I can pull the footage where Casey put the Young Bucks as one of his top 6 greatest tag teams. I can pull it. I watched it today. I can pull the footage.
Say that.
He said that. He said it.
He actually did say that. Yeah, it was on a 6-pack.
I will freaking. It was on a 6-pack. It was on a 6-pack.
Sir, this is now admissible in court. I'm going to need to see some evidence of this.
They don't have no evidence because it didn't happen anyway.
It was said.
Date, I got to do some digging.
You realize that's how the Young Bucks got on my list, right? Because I went back and watched that video and thought a little bit.
Anyway, that didn't happen. So
Casey talked me into it, guys. I'm telling you, it was Chase.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen. My 4th is not the Young Bucks because I would never say that didn't happen. You can't find it. It's not on the internet. Red Dragon, because they are one of the probably the tag team that really got me into independent wrestling.
And it wasn't the Briscoes?
I didn't watch the Briscoes.
Shit, man. I should have.
Yeah, shut.
Damn.
Why bring that up now? Couldn't have.
The Briscoes were on the thin ice list too. That I was like, I don't know who to choose.
Going with Red Dragon. They were one of the tag teams that got me into independent wrestling. I know some people don't consider Ring of Honor independence, whatever.
Watching it or as a manager?
It's not independent anymore, but for the longest time, that was independent.
Yeah. But for the most part, it was independent. For the longest time. But yeah, I'm going with the dragon that is red, not with 4 other teams, like somebody. And my 17th honorable mention is
you know I gotta cheat on these. Like, come on. You know me for far too long. I could never make a decision on this.
You know, he has a whole bunch of different boys. You know,
I remember when we used to do the 6-pack, we'd have like 17 different honorable mentions.
The 6-pack plus 17. Adam, who's your last team on your list?
Your list.
The Ascension. It's the Ascension.
No. The team I'm picking was over. It's the Road Warriors.
It was over in
Road Warriors. They were.
and then they got to the main roster.
What?
They're really nice guys, by the way. Don't be
You
hating.
talking about the Ascension?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the problem. when everyone tried to equate everybody as the next Road Warriors, that was the kiss of death, and that's what happened to the Ascension. But no, the Road Warriors, most over tag team ever, was dominant wherever they went. Again, another one where protected finish, and you can't hear Iron Man and not think of those guys coming down the aisle. And the first true rendition of "You're not going to have to sell. You're just going to sell because I'm going to make you." So, again, I was of the two. I was always more of a Hawk fan more than anything else. It gutted me when Hawk died, and then just a few years ago, Animal left us too soon. I can't believe both of them are gone. It's sad. But yeah, Road Warriors. I mean, again, insert any match from any era, whether it was AWA, NWA, Mid Atlantic, wherever. Like you will never find a Warriors tag team that was that over ever again. With maybe the possibility of the Briscoe, who was honorable mention.
Mine too.
See.
I don't think any of y'all understand the English language.
Okay.
You do.
Okay. So,
What you think about that?
do we want to try to make a collective real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So, the teams that had more than one vote, which I guess automatically advance on unless we disagree: Hardys, Dudleys, and the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last spot. And I'll add the Briscoes in for kicks and giggles because we might as well, right?
Los Conquistadors.
Sure.
So
Billy and Chuck.
So who do y'all think should have the last spot? So let's go with the Briscoes, Heart Foundation, Edge and Christian, Machine Guns, DX, Midnight Express, Legion of Doom, and Red Dragon.
Just for longevity and what they did for their time, I will say Edge and Christian.
Okay. So, all right. So, is there anybody else we want to try to put in there? I mean, I would be completely fine with Edge and Christian. Not even gonna lie to you.
My only objection to
You weren't a team long enough, I don't think.
No, they weren't.
My only objection with DX and Outlaws is that they're essentially the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I agree. They had their own moniker, but they're more of a faction more than said tag team.
Yeah. Okay, we'll pull DX out. So are we all in agreement on Edge and Christian? So I mean, will we put the Heart Foundation over Edge and Christian for what Edge and Christian did? Or the Machine Guns, or Red Dragon, or Legion of Doom?
I would put not Red Dragon. I put the Machine Guns.
So okay, why would you put the Machine Guns over Edge and Christian?
I don't know. They're a team that really got me into TNA, and they're more of like a modern I don't know. It's more of like a modern tag team, like with the high flying stuff that they did, and that's why I would go with the mostly Machine Guns. I
mean, I would argue,
and I love hearing their theme song. Also,
I would argue though that Edge and Christian were more instrumental to
more
tag team
instrumental.
wrestling
They had a
than.
bigger platform.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really.
Well,
hate
just
the platform
because
per
they
se,
were
but
a small
I
fish
can't
and
hold it against the machine guns, but just for what it's worth.
yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I guess
I like
we'll
it.
take out the
I like it.
machine guns.
All right, so we're going to Edge and Christian, just because of, I mean, mainly because of their influence, and I mean their work as a tag team, their combined tag team titles, of course, too. They had great character work. They had great chemistry too.
Yep.
Well, that's because they're brothers.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going with Los Conquistadors. All right.
So we're going to go with the Dirty
Finally,
Heels.
finally,
We're going with it.
Holy Palooza!
All
We're
right.
going
So
with the
last
Dirty
on the
Heels.
Mount Rushmore is Y2AJ. All right, cool. I'm good with it. As always,
Christopher Daniels and Kazarian.
it's a good one. It is a good one.
You.
I remember
more of their TNA stuff.
Speaking of our previous video, I remember talking about how old Christopher Daniels was in that video. Speaking of, he's still old and still can work.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
But still,
the Rock is Sock Connection.
any final thoughts, fellerinos?
Jay Lethal's real good.
They need to bring back true tag team wrestling.
Agreed.
Like the Revival.
Chemistry, not like the Revival. Yeah, but not this mishmash of stuff. As much as I love RK Bro, that was not a natural.
Lethal consequences.
Sure. Yeah, like not this mishmash of guys that they just put together, like Seth and Jason Jordan when they became tag champions.
I got one, Adam. Just hear me out, dude.
Hear me out, dude.
Hear me out, dude. Elias and Ezekiel.
Yes.
I'm going to enzigure you in the back of the head so hard.
What is wrong with them? They're brothers. They obviously have chemistry.
They could do Elias and Rick Boogs. They kind of go together. They play guitar. That'd be a good concert.
One word though.
Suicide and Amazing Red.
Okay.
Boy and Curry Man.
All right, that'll do it.
The Deacon Batista and Devon.
Yep, we done. All right. Until next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can watch us at all the platforms that you see on the screen. If you're listening, you're like, what the heck are you talking about, bro?
Ferrara.
Yes.
Yes. You can
Rapungi Vice.
Or watch us on Spotify. You can listen to us only on Apple Podcasts, and also you can watch us on YouTube. And follow the TikTok and stuff too. But until next time, we'll see you guys on that next